Rainbows are something to behold. You could be outside or out on a drive, and that shimmering spectacle always makes you take a beat. There's something about that combination of color in the sky that's hard to recreate.
Ah, but not impossible. You see, this time of year, there's a particular plant in bloom that perfectly mimics all of those shades of light. And we're talking plants. And you know that means gardening expert Ginny Rosenkranz with the University of Maryland Extension is back with us. And welcome.
Welcome.
Tell us,
rainbows.
Yeah, what have you brought with you today?
Well, irises. These are not native. They're German bearded irises, but they do come in a rainbow of colors. And it's like candy. You just can't have one. You need to buy a couple more. So what's really cool about them is they have, there's a lot of like medieval history with these things. They have these, the petals on top are called standards. And that's kind of like when you think about it, the medieval people used to take a large like shield that had their information on, so people could tell from a glance, oh, those are the good guys, that kind of, and that's kind of what these guys do. And then these right down here, these are called the falls, and like a waterfall. And they have a little bit of anthers on it, which makes it look like a beard.
Okay.
So that's why it's called a bearded iris.
Bearded iris, okay.
I think that these were very popular, especially in Europe.
Okay. And you have many, many colors here. Are there more colors that they come in?
They come in a whole bunch. The one I don't have is I don't have white.
Okay.
They come in pure white. This one right here is nice because it has the colors on top on the standards are kind of a sort of a brownish pink. And the bottom, the falls, has like a ring around with the color, but it's white on top. Whereas there's one that's got like a little bit of white on top and purple on the bottom, or yellow on top and purple on the bottom. There's just all kinds of color combinations that are just awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they difficult to take care of?
These are the easiest things to take care of. That's what I love about them. They love our sandy soil. They can deal with clay soil as long as you plant them really high. So they are a rhizome. I didn't bring a whole plant in, but anyways, basically they sort of sit on top of the ground and then their roots grow down, and you can put mulch beside it but not on top. And as long as they get full sun, they are going to be happy as can be. And these are really good plants to give to friends, because they're easily going to grow, and then after a while you can go ahead and separate them and say, oh, I have two. Well, you have one and I'll keep one, and then next year I have three. You can have one now, and then I can keep one, I can give another one to another friend. So that's really, really nice.
And do they bloom primarily in the spring?
Yeah, these guys bloom in the spring for the most part. And I've had them blooming since April. So different ones bloom earlier, and then they bloom through the whole, the end of April into May. But there's some now that are rebloomers, and they come back in the fall, and it's like, wow, this is so cool. There's one that's called Grand Canyon Sunset, and unfortunately it was in full bloom yesterday. With the rain we had, it just kind of like fell apart.
Oh.
And but when it blooms, it has the purples, the yellows, the violets, the oranges of a sunset.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and since I was in Grand Canyon one time looking at it, goes, yeah, that was well named.
Well named.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
smell amazing,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And the nice thing is you don't have to do anything. You don't have to stake these. You don't have to do any care for them. You don't have to fertilize these guys. They're just, you plant them once and enjoy, and then you do need to start sharing them, because after a while they get to be a little too crowded and they can't bloom. So
It's my kind of plant,
Yes.
right there.
Right there.
Ginny Rosenkranz with the University of Maryland Extension, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me and my friends.
And your friends, yes.